Hello everyone, and welcome to the Custom Golf Shop. I'm Scott Spence. Today I'm going to do a little test that I've been asked about a few times, and obviously because we do a lot of custom fitting here, I do think about this, and it's what's the difference between today's newest, pretty new, up to date, Big Bertha Alpha driver compared to an older start of when drivers started to become big, Callaway Big Bertha Warbird. Have a look. Remember these? Impressive. And I'm going to go even further back. And TaylorMade's Burner Plus, which people of a certain age will remember. This was a great driver. I remember it just. First things to notice, and I would say there's a couple of very obvious things, is the length, and you guys can see that, how much longer the golf clubs are now compared to back in the oldest of the drivers I've got here. There's a couple of inches. And that's obviously to try and aid club head speed and so on and so forth. The other obvious, if I just pick these up, the other obvious really is size of heads and just how much bigger. I mean, even how much bigger the Big Bertha is to the TaylorMade, but I mean, how much bigger the Alpha is to everything and how deep they are. So it's really, it's going to be interesting to see the difference in how these three golf clubs perform. So we'll start off with the TaylorMade, which when Andy and I go and play golf, we use this as our mulligan club. We're only allowed to hit another shot if we use this driver. Now I've got a tee in the ground here that probably is too high, so we'll just pop it down a touch. I'm just going to hit 3 balls, and then we'll have a little look at the results in a second. So here we go, first one. Looks small, is fair to say. I've not hit that bad actually. It's gone a little bit to the right, but I've actually hit that quite well. First thing to note is it feels like it flies quite flat compared to what I'm used to nowadays. Go again. Bit of a better strike. And one more. Nice one of the lot. Okay. It didn't feel bad. I would say that you would want to practice with it. But look, it's still, the golf ball comes off pretty quickly, as we said. Just looking quickly at the stats there. I'm swinging at it about 100 miles an hour. So that's a little bit lower than I would normally be for a driver. But hey, maybe that's length of shaft. Let's go one more. This is with the Warbird. Seems to be quite a difference there straight away. This is, I should point out that the drivers are all pretty much the same loft. 9 degrees in the Alpha, 9.5 degrees in the Burner, the original TaylorMade, and 9 degrees in the Warbird here. Go again. Wasn't my best strike, but again, it's come pretty straight. Still going okay. And one more. Oh, that was a good shot. Really good shot. Okay. So that's the Warbird. And I'll just grab the Big Bertha Alpha, which is the one that I'm putting in my golf bag, or using in my golf bag right now, just change over the color. Okay, that looks huge all of a sudden. Slight difference in noise. Now, if I was doing this test, and I think I'll probably do something in a little while, but if I was doing this test with 3 of today's drivers, it would be interesting to see if there's any difference at all. Okay, so that's Big Bertha Alpha, Callaway Big Bertha Warbird, the TaylorMade's trusty old TaylorMade Burner Plus drivers. Let's see how they went. Okay, so if we just have a look at the screen here, we got 3 columns here, 3 rows, red, yellow, green, TaylorMade Burner, Callaway Big Bertha Warbird, Callaway Big Bertha Alpha. Interesting stats. 206 metre carry on TaylorMade, 215 metre carry on Big Bertha Warbird, and 232 metre carry on Big Bertha Alpha. Ball speeds, I've hit them all okay. 1.4 is the hit factor, that's smash factor, guys. Ball speeds 142, 143, 143 and 150. Club head speeds are 100, 102, 105. Which I would expect them to get a little bit quicker actually, because the length of the shaft. Path and face, again, as I say, is subject to how I swing the golf club, but we can see that they're all fairly much along the line, slightly out by half a degree, slightly in by 1/8 degree. Face is pretty good. I've closed the Big Bertha over a little bit. Launch is interesting. Vertical launch 14.1 on the TaylorMade, 15.1 on the Callaway, and 12.9 on the Callaway Alpha, which is what I would expect. Again, I did I felt like I had to tee the TaylorMade Burner down quite low. The Big Bertha Warbird looked like it was always going to slide underneath the tee a little bit. That was my feeling. Quite shallow head compared to the length of the body. And then the Big Bertha Alpha, which is what I'm using, I'm looking for it to launch at that sort of number. I don't want it to go much higher than that because I spin it, and I don't want to spin it too much more either. But you can see Backspin's talking about that. 3,200 for 3,400, 3,200. So we talk about golf clubs spinning less nowadays. Golf balls certainly spin less, but I'm not so sure how if the golf club's going to make the ball spin any less. That's all to do with angle of attack, guys, and the way you strike it. So interesting numbers there. What I would definitely say is the new golf clubs certainly make the ball come off faster. There's a much bigger difference between 105 to 150 than there is from 102 to 143. And at the end of the day, it's ball speed that's what we're looking at, guys. If we can get our ball speed up, then ball's going to travel a little bit further. Fingers crossed. Subject to strike. Okay, so we've had a look at the numbers and we've tried some, and I think there's a reason why we're now using these big ones. And I think that's pretty evident from ball speed, guys. I really enjoy hitting these little ones because it's like a walk down memory lane for me. It's nostalgia. I've used these golf clubs in the past. Certainly the Callaway was in my bag. TaylorMade my friends had, but I'd like to try it out. But the difference is nowadays, it shows where golf clubs have gone. I use the same golf ball for all of those, Bridgestone golf ball. The length is something that does concern me a little bit. I do worry that golf clubs start to get a little bit long and they start to become a little bit harder to control, certainly, for some golfers. But I think it's in the head, guys, and this is the thing that I think all the companies are trying to prove to us now, is that shaft is one thing. We can have arguments about flex and so on and so forth. Shaft is one thing, but heads are where the difference is. This just felt easier to hit. It felt more comfortable to look down at, and certainly I've been using bigger headed drivers for a while now, so that's maybe a reason. But the golf ball comes off faster, it comes off at a better trajectory, and it comes off straighter more often. And it basically means that I can get the golf ball further down the fairway than I might have done had I been having to still use the Big Bertha from Callaway, or even so the Burner Plus from TaylorMade, from what I would reckon would be about 20 to 25 years ago. So there it is, guys. If you've got one of these old drivers in your bag, come down, have a chat with us. I promise you, as much as scary as they look and as light as they feel, these big guys nowadays are definitely going to help you out when it comes to driving the ball longer and straighter, and hopefully trying to get that handicap down a few shots.